today, we're going to just tackle this new word, budget. It's a word that I think most of you guys have probably heard before, but that some of you might not necessarily understand what that word means. Anyone have any ideas about the word budget? What it means? Without looking in your book, without looking in the glossary, what does a budget mean, Daniel?
Like the amount of money that you have and can spend.
Okay, the amount of money that you have and that you can spend. That's good. We're going to work with that. Anything else? Any other ideas about budget, Lily?
It's basically a goal of not spending a lot of money, but having at least enough.
I like it. She says the word, it's like a goal. It's a goal. It's a plan. It's what you want to spend. All right? Daniel says it's what you have to spend, which is true, and it's a goal of what you want to do with what you have. The book actually defines budget, almost combining those two, a plan that shows income and expenses over time. Okay? A plan that shows income and expenses over time. Basically, and I put it up there in my context clues sentence, Mr. Steinmetz keeps to his budget to ensure that all of his bills are paid. Okay. You know, my wife and I, we make more money than we have to spend in bills, but we need to budget our money. You know, we need to pay our house payment, our car payment. Okay, we pay water, electric. You know, we pay the cell phone bill. We pay the cable bill. All right. So we got little. You know, we got to pay for groceries. We put money in our savings account each month. Okay. So our budget is our plan. Now, let's say that at the end of the week, we budget. Let's say we have it in our budget for $30. Every Friday night, we're gonna go somewhere to have dinner. We have $30 to spend on that dinner. That's part of our budget. So we gotta think about that. We gotta figure out how are we gonna spend our money. We gotta be smart. We can't have everything that we want. Remember we talked about last week? People have unlimited demands, right? People have unlimited wants. Essentially, we want everything. But what do we not have unlimited amounts of? Money, Victoria. We have a limited amount of money, and we got to make a decision about what to do with it. Does anybody remember that vocabulary term that represents the situation when you want two things and you can only pick one? What is that called, Mariana?
Opportunity.
Opportunity cost. That opportunity cost is what you don't buy. So you're going to make some opportunity costs in your budget right here. Here's the scenario for everybody. Let's take a look. You have $12 to spend on dinner. You walk into the diner. You have $12 to spend. I have $12. Let's say my wife has $12. Maybe you guys are there with a friend. You have to determine what you're going to eat with your main dish, with your side dish. Do you want two side dishes? Maybe, maybe not. What are you going to drink? And how much are you going to leave for your tip? Now, we haven't really talked about tip very much. Some of it does depend on the service, but for now, just think of a decent idea of what you want to give for your tip. So what I want you guys to do at your seats is go ahead and sort of scribble out what you think a good budget would be for your dinner. While you do that, Viviana's going to come to the board and do it for you guys in front of you. So Viviana, come on up. Everyone else can work at their seats. Make sure you're adding up as you go. I mean, if you want the chicken sandwich, that's $4.50. If you want the hot dog, it's only going to be $3.
Wouldn't have the cheeseburger became more expensive than a hamburger?
You got to put that piece of cheese on there, so it kind of is a little bit more expensive. Yeah, it's a little messed up right now. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Happy with it, Viviana?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and put the pen down. Everybody else, let's just finish up where you're at your seats here for just a moment. So I'm going to call on a few of you to make sure you guys have something that we're happy about. All right. So as you're finishing up, let's just take a quick look here and see what Viviana came up with. She chose the hamburger for $4, and the smart board seems to be a little messed up right now, but she chose the hamburger for $4, the cheese fries for $4. That's 8. She's going to drink water, which thankfully at this diner is free. So she's only at $8. And she's actually going to leave a $4 tip. It's a pretty big tip, but Viviana wants to be friendly. She thinks the service is really good. She's got no problem giving that money out of her budget. Did anybody out there select a choice with 2 side dishes? Did anyone go for 2 sides?
I could.
What's that?
I could have.
Con, what sort of is your budget?
I spent a total of $8.50.
Okay, what did you buy?
Hamburger,
Okay, so Kong bought a hamburger. What else?
mashed potatoes,
He went with the mashed potatoes. So that's $6.50.
water,
He chose water,
and I left a $2 tip.
and he left a $2 tip, spending the $8, or what is it, $8.50?
Yeah.
So he spent $8.50. How much money does he still have left over from his budget that he might want to use? $3.50. Okay? So he could maybe go for some mac and cheese, some green beans. He could put that money towards something else. Okay? The hardest thing for me with this budget would definitely be the pop. Okay? I love drinking pop when I have dinner. I know it's not very good for me. I understand everything about it. But I would just have to come down here and have a can of soda, even though it's costing me $1.50. I know it's a little bit of a ripoff, but I just couldn't help it. Okay, so we make these budgets every day. We think about these budgets all the time. We know how much money we have to spend, and we spend it. Yeah, I would love to go to the zoo and buy 30 things in the gift shop, all right? I would love to go to the art museum and buy 6 of those little fake paintings they have hanging in there. But when I budget money for the art museum, I budget, $20, $30. Take us to get into the museum, maybe a bottle of water, maybe a little postcard to send to a friend or something. You always got to think about the budget. Final thing, and that's going to be your question for today. Flip your paper over and answer this question. Can I have somebody read it for me out loud? Go ahead.
Why is it difficult for a person to stick with their budget plan?
Yeah. One of the big problems today is that people do not stay with their budget. Okay? It's hard for me. It's hard for my friends. It's hard for my family members. It's hard for a lot of your parents, I would imagine. Why? Write it down. Why do you think it's so difficult to stick with your budget?